Hi there, this is Jonathan Ginsberg. I'd like to talk to you today about how to win a case involving a closed head injury. And typically what I'm looking at is a situation where somebody has fallen, landed on his or her head, or has had some sort of an accident, sometimes at work, where something, a large metal heavy object hit them on the head, knocked them down, typically concussion, lost consciousness, and so forth. And of course, many times in closed head injury cases, the injury is not apparent. In other words, recovery may take place physically, so you don't look disabled, but in fact, you've got some significant issues with personality change. It could be vision issues, it could be concentration, could be headaches, cognitive loss, that type of thing. And basically there are two real ways to win a closed head injury case. One is to meet what is called a listing, and the listings are where Social Security has identified specific medical problems that are on their face disabling. And I've given you a link here to the listing for closed head injuries. It's listing number 11. And a lot of times, again, this will also involve seizures, that sort of thing. So that's really what the medical side of it would be, where there's a very clear medical problem, seizures, epilepsy type of symptoms, disorientation, memory loss that are measurable. The second way to win, if you don't meet a listing or your doctor won't support you on a listing, is to argue what is called functional capacity. What that means is you're arguing that your capacity for work has been so reduced by the symptoms associated with your closed head injury that you would not be reliable at work. And so, for example, fatigue might be an impairment that would prevent you from working. Cognitive decline, where you can't think. Personality change, maybe anger management issues, things like that. Seizure activity that maybe are not at listing level but still happen periodically, are not controlled by medication. Headaches, blurred vision, those type of things. And really the important thing with closed head injury cases is, number one, is to make a very, very clear list of all the symptoms, keep a diary on a calendar so that you can identify how often they happen, because again, if you have a headache once every 3 months, that's not disabling. But if you have it once a week or every 3 days, that certainly could be. Secondly, it's really important to have support from a treating doctor or therapist who will say, yes, you've been reporting these symptoms, they seem to be very debilitating, and it would go on record in filling out a functional capacity form for you. So the functional capacity argument is usually what happens in hearings. That's usually what I use in hearings. But again, you've got to have very definitive symptoms. You've got to have a doctor or a therapist who's willing to go on record to say, yes, despite medications, despite being compliant with all treatment recommendations, you're still having these symptoms, and they're significant enough to interfere with your ability to perform even simple, unskilled, entry-level type of work. So that's how I approach closed head injuries, very serious injuries many times. And again, the symptoms are what's important. And sometimes I will tell you, I will also bring a witness in, because a lot of times people who are dealing with these symptoms don't necessarily recognize what's going on, and a third party may be necessary to help identify what the symptoms are and how they affect that person's ability to deal with day-to-day activities of daily living and other type of work type of activities. So hope this has been helpful. Again, my name is Jonathan Ginsberg. Please let me know if I can be of help to you. And again, this is how I approach closed head injuries. Thanks very much.